Hey everybody, it's Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we're going to be discussing the seasonal Pokemon known as Mebukijika. So let's get started by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So as you can see already by the picture change, this Pokemon actually has 4 different forms based on the 4 different seasons. The first one that you saw where I was introducing it is the spring one, and this is the summer version, and successively you will see the fall and then winter version in the 2 sets that I have for it. But this Pokemon is a normal grass type, which is very interesting typing because, and it's kind of unfortunate in an extent, because grass has a lot of things that can deal super effective damage to it, and now you also have the normal typing, which will allow you to take super effective moves from fighting types as well. But so it's really kind of unfortunate typing when it comes to the weaknesses, but you also gain an immunity to Ghost, which is kind of cool, I guess. But this Pokemon has plenty it's weak to, which is unfortunate, but it's still really good. As for the abilities, the first one is Chlorophyll, which you should know by now, but in case you don't, it doubles your speed when there's sun up, and this Pokemon is actually really fast, so if there is sun in effect, Chlorophyll will make you really, really fast, essentially. As for its next ability, it is known as Herbivore, and it is a new ability that allows you to be immune to grass-type moves and also gain +1 attack every time you're attacked by a grass-type move. This move works similarly to the way Motor Drive works, in the sense that if you're hit by an electric attack, you gain speed. Well, for this, you're hit by a grass-type attack, and then you gain physical attack. And this can be easy to possibly set up if you have a Pokemon on your team that is 4 times weak to grass, like a Swampert or something, because you can easily bait them into attacking with the grass-type move, and then have a +1 attack Mebukijika. As for the last ability, it is known as Serene Grace, and it's an Extreme Mode ability, and what it does is it doubles the chance of secondary effects occurring. So this was probably most notably exploited with Jirachi and Togekiss, in the sense that they have moves that can flinch, and the moves were Iron Head and Air Slash. Both of them have a 30% chance to flinch. But since Serene Grace doubles that, they have a 60% chance to flinch, which is ridiculous, essentially. And I know of a lot of times where I have been flinched to death by both of them, so it's a really cool ability. But this Pokemon unfortunately does not learn a move that could make the opponent flinch, and it really doesn't learn a lot of moves that do have secondary effects. So this ability will have limited use on Mebukijika. As for its stats, it has 80 HP, 70 defense, and 70 special defense, which is actually pretty decent defenses for a Pokemon that is primarily going to be used to attack. So it is very capable of at least taking 1 or 2 hits from your opponent, and this Pokemon being a grass type, it also gets Leech Seed, so that can come in handy too in helping to make you more defensive and last longer in battle. As for its attack, it has a really good 100 attack, meaning that it can do a lot of damage to anything and be successful in the physical area. As for the special attack, though, it's only 60, but this Pokemon does learn plenty of special moves, so it might be something maybe worth looking into if you want to try it, but probably not so much. And as for its speed, it's at pretty good 95, so that means it will be able to outspeed a lot of different things, but it's still being outsped by a lot of other Pokemon that could potentially threaten this one. But with that, let's take a look at the first set of this video. So this set is going to be a sub-seeding set, I guess, that Mebukijika can use. So first we're going to give it a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but decrease its special attack, and we're going to be using the ability Serene Grace this time. As for the EVs, we're going to put 252 into HP to give you your max HP, allowing you to obviously benefit the most from having a Leech Seed and take more attacks from your opponent. And then we're going to put 4 into attack to give you 1 more attack point, and then we're using 252 EVs for speed to make you as fast as possible and allowing you to sub-seed very quickly and get the job done, essentially. And as for the item, we're going to be using Leftovers, because of the fact that we're also getting health from Leech Seed, so having Leftovers health gain at the end of every turn is also another benefit of being able to use a set like this. So the first two moves, obviously, Substitute and Leech Seed, pretty self-explanatory at this point. And then the next move in this set is known as Rock Smash, and it is a 40 base power fighting type move that lowers your opponent, or has a 50% chance to lower your opponent's defense. But since we're using the ability Serene Grace, it will always lower your opponent's defense. And the reasoning for this is because Mebukijika has a fairly good attack stat, and since we're using the EVs for this set to boost your HP and speed, you're going to be lacking in that area. So the way to resolve that is by using Rock Smash to lower their defense and allow your physical attacks to do more damage. As for the next move, we're going to be using Wood Horn, which is essentially this Pokemon's signature move, and it is a pretty decently powered grass type move that that drains your opponent's health and gives you some recovery every time you use it. So think of it as the grass version of Drain Punch if you want. So that will also allow you to survive incredibly long with the subseeding set, since you're gaining Leftovers, Leech Seed, and Woodhorn recovery every turn. And that it just makes this Pokemon really great if you want it to be able to stay in for a while, since you'll be easily able to keep your HP up without a problem. Another move I was going to try and make use of for a set like this, though, is Camouflage. And the reason for that is because it changes Mebukijika's typing to just be normal on Wi-Fi battles, which will reduce its weaknesses to ice, flying, bug, fire, etc. So that will actually help it be a more effective subseeder, because the only thing that it can be hit for super effective damage would be a fighting type move. But I'm not exactly sure where that would fit in with this set, but it's something I'm definitely going to think about toying around with in the future. As for this last set, it's going to be a pure attacking one, so we're going to give it an Adamant Nature to increase its physical attack but decrease its special attack, and we're going to be using the ability Herbivore. And in case I didn't say this before, which I don't think I did, Herbivore not only absorbs attack moves that are grass types to raise your attack, but it also works against moves like Grass Whistle and Leech Seed that are also grass type moves but don't do damage. But just in case you were wondering, it doesn't actually have an effect with aromatherapy. So if you have this Pokemon in your party and you have another Pokemon on your team use aromatherapy, Herbivore won't block the aromatherapy and will actually heal you if you have a status. So that's great. As for the EVs for this set, though, we're going to put 4 into HP to give you 1 more hit point, 252 EVs into attack to give you max attack, and 252 EVs into speed to give you the highest speed you can get with an Adamant Nature. As for the item, we're going to be using a Life Orb to allow us to do more damage. The first move in the moveset is going to be Agility, which could also end up being Swords Dance if you give this Pokemon a Jolly Nature. But since its speed isn't the most amazing speed for a Pokemon that will be a powerful physical attacker, going Adamant with Agility seemed like the better option, so you can have higher speed but still have good high attack. As for the next move, we're going to be using Jump Kick, which is an awesome fighting type move of 100 power, and it has 95% accuracy. But the only thing is, if you miss with this move, you will hit yourself when you miss, obviously, and lose half of your health. It's the same thing as High Jump Kick, except less power. But it did get a boost in base power this generation, and it is still a really powerful move to use, so that it's great that this Pokemon gets it. As to the next move, again, we're going to be using Woodhorn, but this time it works out even better because since we're using a Life Orb, Woodhorn will help to recover some of the health you lose from using the item. So that's great because they kind of even each other out in a sense, at least hopefully. As for the next move, though, and the last move in the set, we're going to be using Nature Power, which functions a little bit differently in this generation. Previously, it turned into Tri-Attack, which would not really benefit this Pokemon at all since it doesn't have the greatest special attack. But in this generation, according to Smogon, it turns into Earthquake, which is amazing because it'll give this Pokemon even more other types that it can hurt for super effective damage, and this Pokemon can't learn Earthquake as a TM. So it's like a pretty awesome way of giving it a really powerful ground type move that can obviously hurt opponents with a lot of damage. As you will notice, though, this Pokemon is using fighting, grass, and ground type moves. So if you're up against a Pokemon that has a flying type and no type that will be weak to either of those to balance it out and allow you to use neutral damage, this set will have kind of a problem with bulky flying type Pokemon like Zapdos or something. So that's just something to make note of. But other than that, I absolutely love this new Pokemon, and it's really cool. I especially like the winter form. I think that one looks the best. But let me know which one you guys like the best, and if you like these sets, and leave a comment telling me what you think. So I guess I'll see you guys in my next video, so take care and goodbye.